Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are continuing the True Boxing annual 2025 annual top 10s, as we are going to look at my number 3 junior welterweight in the world right now at 140 pounds, the reigning WBC champion, Subriel Matias. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So Matias from Puerto Rico entered the year number 9. He makes the biggest jump of the year up to number 3. He entered the year, he was coming off of a rough 24 when in June, as coming into favorite, he got upset and outworked and lost the unanimous decision to Lee Amparo, dropping the IBF title. He was the IBF champion, came back, knocked out 2 guys. He knocked out a guy named Roberto Ramirez in November of 24, and then this past year, in 25, he took on a guy named Gabriel Galaz Valenzuela, got an 8th round TKO, and then got in a monster opportunity to fight for the WBC title against Alberto Puello. He came in the underdog, but he worked hard. It was a really good battle. He came alive in the late rounds, and it was a really good back and forth battle. It went down to the scorecards, and he would achieve a world title a second time, defeating Alberto Puello by a 12-round majority decision as he became the world champion again. After that, he immediately went into discussions to defend his title against the undefeated Dalton Smith. And that fight is coming up. He didn't fight the remainder of 25. That fight is coming up this Saturday, January 10th. They will square off. Overall now, he is 33 years old. He's 23-2 with 22 knockouts. He's coming into this fight. I would say I think he's the betting favorite. Gonna be a really interesting, really good fight right here, between these two, that I think it's, honestly, to me, it's close to 50-50, but I really think either guy, if they're as good as we've seen from Matias or Dalton Smith could be, I think we could be seeing a knockout here. I really do. On either side. I'm having a hard time picking a winner. It's 50-50. I'm just going to say Dalton Smith's going to win this fight. I don't know why. I think the youth, and I think Dalton Smith just is going to have a work rate that he's going to be able to outwork and maybe even outbox Matias. But Matias could absolutely dominate this, and I wouldn't be surprised. And if he does, he's going to be sitting in the driver's seat for either an Isaac Cruz showdown, who's the interim champ, or a rematch with Alberto Puello. Puello was ordered back in August when the negotiations started for Matias and Dalton Smith, because they went pretty fast. The WBC ordered Alberto Puello to fight the winner. Now, I've said in Puello's video and Gary Antoine Russell's video that I wouldn't be surprised if Russell gets through Andy Hiroka in the first quarter of the year, if Russell offers Puello a rematch, since Puello handed Russell his only loss, and they fight later in the year, and then Matias fights interim champ Isaac Cruz, because that's an all-action fight. Wouldn't be surprised at all if those things go down, but either way, Subriel Matias with a victory is right there. Now, a loss, it would depend on how he loses and what he does the remainder of the year, how he loses to Dalton Smith. So it really comes down to what happens in the fight. But do I think Subriel Matias finishes in the top 10 by the end of the year? Absolutely. I absolutely see that happening, win or lose against Dalton Smith. Does he finish in the top 5? If he beats Dalton Smith and loses a close fight to somebody later in the year even, he's still top 5 probably. Does he finish top 3 or have a shot at number 1? I think so. I think the winner of Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, they could or could not be out of the division by the end of the year. I think Lopez, if he beats Stevenson, he's going to welterweight. I think if Stevenson beats Lopez, I think Stevenson might stay here. He might move back down to lightweight. He could move up to welterweight. It just depends on what he wants to do. But I really believe that Subriel Matias with a victory, if he goes undefeated on the year, he absolutely could be sitting at the top of the division by the end of the year. Does he unify titles at all if he gets by Dalton Smith? He would have the option to do that with Richardson Hitchens. If he wanted to, Gary Antoine Russell maybe later in the year, if he doesn't have to make the mandatory against Puello, that's a possibility. But I really think it's Dalton Smith, and then it's probably Puello towards the middle of the year. And if he gets through those with victories and is still the WBC champ, I don't know if he wants to add on a third fight, even for unification, against one of the other champions. Because this division, the one thing I'll say, it's fucking loaded and it's tough. So, but Subriel Matias really can put himself in a much better position than number 3 with a victory. So we'll see what happens. But again, I'm picking Dalton Smith, but I really think it's 50-50, could go either way. I'm not going to be shocked if it goes either way. But I like Subriel Matias. He's a good fighter. He's tough. He has a lot of power. I love the way he fights. And I can't wait to see him in action this year. So that's it. That's what I got. That is my number 3 junior welterweight in the world right now at 140 pounds. The reigning WBC junior welterweight champion and 2-time champion, Subriel Matias of Puerto Rico. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.